There is a hidden God that the church doesn't want you to know about. They don't want you to know about this God because it's the real God, and knowledge of this God will allow you to escape from the material realm. This is a hidden God, a secret God, and the truth of the hidden God is what the church fears the most. This hidden God is higher than their God. I'm going to show you the secret knowledge of this hidden God that has been buried for centuries, and how you can use this knowledge to remember that the God described throughout history is actually you. You've simply forgotten, but you've left yourself clues all around so that you can remember, and we're going to uncover them right now. Does this sound hard to believe, crazy? Well, what if it's true? I know you felt like this place is very strange, very wrong, that there's something not quite right with this world. What if that's because everything you've been told is a lie, and you aren't what you think you are? Let's discover the clues and the hidden God, the God that the church doesn't want you to know about. There were a group of Christians known as Gnostics that knew about this hidden God, but they were persecuted as heretics and blasphemers, and their books were banned from the Bible. Gnostic means knowledge, and Gnostics were dedicated for searching for enlightenment in secret and hidden wisdom, and this seriously threatened the power of the church. In an effort to unify the empire and control the people, the Roman Emperor Constantine made Christianity the state religion. In short, in the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, it was decided what would be the official doctrine of Christianity, and Gnostic teachings were outlawed. Knowledge that could liberate you would of course be anathema to a system of religious control. I'm going to show you how exactly the hidden God is you, but first you have to know something about Lucifer and Satan. You see, mainstream Christian doctrine would have you believe that Satan and Lucifer are the same being, but nothing could be further from the truth. Secret societies, occult, and esoteric doctrines know very well that not only are Satan and Lucifer different, they are polar opposites. To better understand this, let's take a look at the attributes of Satan and Lucifer. Satan is about darkness, selfishness, the individual, dominance over others, while Lucifer is about light, altruism, the collective, and equality. They couldn't be more different. They are opposites in every single way. Now, why is this important to know? Because the God of the Bible is actually Satan. The ancient Gnostics knew this. Now, this might seem surprising, but it just goes to show you how well centuries of brainwashing works. All the evidence is right there in the Bible. Just look at the verses. The God of the Bible accepts a virgin sacrifice, demands blood sacrifice, commands Abraham to murder his only son, has the firstborn son of every child in Egypt killed, among countless atrocities. Now, does that sound like a loving God to you? Or a satanic being? If someone had never heard of this before and was coming across this information for the first time, they would conclude that that God was in fact a Satan, a devil. Lucifer, attempting to revolt against this tyrant with his host of angels, was labeled as Satan by the church. It's critical to understand that Lucifer and Satan are total opposites, but what are they really, and what does it have to do with the hidden God? In modern psychology, we understand that these concepts are what is known as archetypes. Carl Jung, the brilliant Swiss psychiatrist and student of Freud, studied Gnosticism and incorporated its hidden teachings into psychoanalysis. He brought the idea of archetypes to the field of psychology. An archetype is an idea or pattern that exists in the unconscious. For example, we all have satanic and Luciferian powers within us. I'm sure you know some people that behave like devils and others that behave like angels. In fact, you can see this easily all around you, especially in the current world crisis. Trump supporters are very satanic. They're selfish, and they care about only themselves and their family and their personal freedoms. They couldn't give a fuck about the collective. We can also use these archetypal ideas to understand many different things in our world. For example, capitalism is very satanic, whereas socialism is more Luciferian. Capitalism emphasizes the individual, selfishness, and dominance over others, whereas socialism has a tendency to emphasize the collective and others, and working in a community. Now, I'm sure this will make sense to you even on an intuitive level. For example, I'm sure it's very easy for you to associate a greedy, selfish CEO with the image of Satan. So Satan is about the individual, dominance, power, whereas Lucifer is about the other, the collective, community, equality. So what does this have to do with the hidden God? The name of the hidden God is ABRAXAS. Through his studies of Gnosticism and archetypes, Carl Jung came across the archetype of ABRAXAS, the name of this deity being buried in secret Gnostic history. And what is ABRAXAS? ABRAXAS is the ultimate power and the synthesis of all opposites. ABRAXAS is Satan and Lucifer combined, and thus higher than them both. ABRAXAS is all things. ABRAXAS is beyond God and the devil, beyond good and evil, because it is all of these things at once. It is all forces. Carl Jung wrote, "Hard to know is the deity of ABRAXAS. Its power is the greatest, because man perceiveth it not. The power of ABRAXAS is twofold. What the God-Son speaketh is life, what the devil speaketh is death. But ABRAXAS speaketh that hallowed and accursed word, which is life and death at the same time. ABRAXAS begetteth truth and lying, good and evil, light and darkness, in the same word and in the same act. ABRAXAS is the highest of all, because ABRAXAS is the synthesis of all things, all opposites, both darkness and light, Satan and Lucifer, God and the devil. ABRAXAS is all of these and above them all. It is the archetype of what Friedrich Nietzsche called the Übermensch, or superhuman, one that is beyond the concepts of good and evil. But the truth is that you are ABRAXAS. Do you not have the power of both good and evil, light and shadow, truth and lies, God and the devil within you? But it goes much further than this. You are literally the creator of this world. You have simply forgotten. So how can you remember? You see, the world is not what it seems. The material world is an illusion, and the Gnostics knew this very well. You aren't a body at all. You are an eternal mind called a monad. Now, a monad is an eternal system of mathematical frequency patterns. And each one of us is an individual eternal monad. And our bodies are simply avatars that allow us to explore and interact in the so-called material world that we call the holos. Before space and time, before the Big Bang, before the material universe, all of us, as eternal monadic minds, existed in a perfect realm of pure mind called the Source. The Big Bang was when this perfection shattered and the material realm was generated. The material world isn't material at all. It's a shared mathematical dream generated by the monadic collective, the collective of all minds. And when the material world is generated, a forgetting takes place. The esoteric book of the Kybalion says that this process of forgetting is similar to the mental process of an artist, writer, or inventor who becomes so wrapped up in his mental creation as to almost forget his own existence, and who for the time being almost lives in his creation. Think of it like being an artist that creates something, and being so wrapped up in their creation, they forget that they are the artist and think that they are the creation. Think of it like being the author of a book who becomes so lost in their work, so enveloped in the story, that they forget that they are the author and believe themselves to be one of the characters. You see, this world wasn't created by some kind of creator god. It was mathematically generated by us. It's a shared, collective, objective dream. But just like in a dream, we simply forgot. We are the gods of this world. But how can you remember? The great philosopher Hegel understood this secret. Hegel believed that this existence is an evolving mind. He came to understand the secret of this world. And he understood that the evolving mind of reality generates this dream world to come to know itself through itself. You see, a dream world has to be generated in order to wake up. He knew that the universe evolves through a process called the dialectic, which is a clash of warring opposites that ultimately synthesize and unify into the highest idea. This highest idea is the universe achieving consciousness of itself. And Hegel called this the absolute. The absolute is all opposites resolved and the universe actualized. The absolute is ABRAXAS. ABRAXAS is all of us taken together. It's the one and the many. It's the monadic collective. It's me. It's you. It's all of us. It's many minds, all the minds that when taken together form one mind. But this mind doesn't have an existence apart from us. It is us. It's what I am. It's what you are. It's what we are. And as you come to realize this, ABRAXAS, the absolute, the universe, which is us, wakes up a little more. When we all realize and understand what we are, this is the absolute, ABRAXAS fully awakened. It's the opening of the great I. The more you understand what you are and what existence is, the more you will awaken and remember what you are. And those of us that understand have left this knowledge throughout history so that you may discover it and wake up. And that's what this video is right now. We are those that understand exactly what we are. We are the consciousness of existence. We are the absolute, ABRAXAS manifest in this world. We are the fallen angels, and we seek to build an ABRAXIAN world as we build a new society on Earth with the knowledge of what we are. Are you beginning to understand? Are you beginning to wake up? Are you beginning to know what you are? Then join us and help us create a new humanity and a new Earth. We don't want a satanic world, nor do we want a Luciferian world, because we know that both the individual and the collective are important. We don't deny our opposites, we synthesize and combine them into something higher. We don't deny our shadow, nor do we deny our light. We are beings of both light and shadow, guided by the highest wisdom, the highest logic and reason. It's not about socialism, and it's not about capitalism. It's about something higher. A third idea that synthesizes the best of both and creates a meritocracy, an ABRAXIAN society. A world in which the individual and the collective are important. A world in which compassion, logic, and reason rules. A world in which we teleologically strive for a maximization of consciousness and actualization. What is the goal of capitalism? What is the goal of socialism? They have no goals. Our goal is to actualize our potential, to become the gods that we truly are. Our goal is to create a world community of gods, fully actualized human beings. Both the individual and the collective is important. Both the self and the other is important. It's not about one or the other. It's about balancing and synthesizing both together to create something higher. So don't deny your darkness and don't deny your light. Synthesize them both together and become something stronger, something more, something higher. This is why we are called Hyperion. Some people think that we are satanic. Others even think that we are Luciferian. But we're something else entirely. We are ABRAXIAN. We are the gods of this world. To understand how we can know these things without faith, but by using logic and reason, watch my video, The New Spirituality. We are a movement here to wake up the world, so subscribe now to join our war of the mind. Like, share, subscribe, and if you enjoy my work, consider supporting on Patreon so I can bring you more content. My name is Morgue, and I am Hyperion. Ad Astra, to the stars.